Hi everyone, my name is Abigail Rodriguez and I was assigned Module 13 for the application presentation. Today I decided to talk about a theory that kind of shocked me but also intrigued me in a way that it made me think that advertisements kind of influence us and have a bigger impact in our life than we think. So the mere exposure theory is a theory that states repetitive exposure to like neutral parties, they have a better and more increased chance of having a favorable outcome, meaning that advertisers who kind of go for a certain audience, they go for the audience that that hasn't molded their opinion towards something, and they have a better chance of having a more positive attitude towards it than a negative attitude. The mere exposure theory also has a chance to decrease and have more negative attitudes as well, depending on how they advertise it, because repetition can also lead to irritation and boredom. So with that being said, I want to tie this theory into my professional life because recently I just went through a situation where I feel like mere exposure played a big role. I'm currently a lead teacher at a daycare, and we have to do a lot of training just so that we stay on track of how of our knowledge based on child development and child care as well. So you get to choose however many trainings you want depending on your interests, and I chose a training on child abuse, how you can detect it and how you know if it's happening to a child that you're working with. I chose this specific training because of the advertising. So the company of the training, what they did was send out a newsletter for 7 days, and within each newsletter was a story, a different story, and a different child each day. So the story was about a child who was being abused at home and how it was detected by the teacher, and how they were able to be placed in a better environment, and they weren't they weren't getting abused because their teacher did the right steps on reporting it. So I think that the advertisement of the training and how they did it for 7 days and 7 newsletters, the repetition of seeing how a kid's life is impacted by a teacher detecting child abuse, it kind of made me feel like I want to take that training so that I can make a difference in that child's life if I was able to, and if I had a child who was being abused. But as I read the mere exposure theory, it also kind of made me realize that maybe I signed up for the training because of the advertising versus because of me actually feeling that anxiousness to learn these things, because I'm always interested in learning new things to help benefit my children. But the way that the advertising was, I honestly feel like it influenced me to sign up for training more and quicker, because I signed up after the second newsletter. So after the first 2 stories, I instantly signed up, and I still continued to read the other newsletters. And that repetition of that specific story, but in different children's aspects of their life, it just really made me feel as if they needed that cry for help, and the company knew that that cry for help was going to gain more followers and gain better attitudes toward the training. So I think it's very important that we acknowledge these things, because we need to understand when we're making decisions based on repetition of advertisements and based on how we truly feel. In conclusion, I think that it's extremely important to remain open and with that neutral attitude, just because more opportunities arrive when we remain more open-minded, but also to remain aware, because we make decisions based on popularity. So if an ad is very popular to other people, we might hop on the bandwagon without understanding that we're making a decision for ourselves versus we're making a decision on someone who's influencing us.